the big problem with forfeiture is that if the landlord is successful in forfeiting the lease, that's it. Your leaseholder is not going to be able to get back the money they paid when they bought the flat in the first place.
No, I think that's one of the...
And it's a big windfall.
It's one of the which is why I said it's a sort of go nuclear kind of thing, because if the landlord goes down the route of trying to forfeit the lease, then that's it, it's gone. And even if you've been purchasing it on a mortgage and you've spent thousands and thousands of pounds, it's gone, and you will have forfeited everything that you've paid in. So you're no longer in ownership of
yes, you don't
something,
get any,
and you don't get any
payment,
compensation or anything.
No.
So it's just literally gone. So in your experience, how frequently do freeholders try to impose forfeiture on their lessees, and how often are they successful?
Well, there are two different things.
Yeah.
One is that landlords will definitely go down that forfeiture route, but it is a means of being able to get what they want, because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's very rare in residential leases for the lease to actually end up being forfeited, because the tenant can apply for relief from forfeiture, pay the arrears. When you've got a mortgage, invariably what would happen is that the mortgage company will pay and then add it onto your mortgage.
Threat of forfeiture is absolutely routine. It's the way that landlords get money that is owed. And I'm about 3 times a week I'm being contacted by leaseholders with various caught up in the sort of forfeiture game. They've missed ground rent for one reason or another. They say that the demand hasn't been sent. A debt collecting solicitor then contacts them on behalf of the landlord. A £250 debt quickly becomes a £1,000 debt with the legal fees, then £2,000, £2,500. Up it goes on a very aggressively escalating scale. The reason is these debt collectors aren't actually employed by the freeholder. Their remuneration comes from recovering the debt. So they are sort of incentivized, if you like, to pursue these debts aggressively. Now, I'll give you an example of a forfeiture that happened recently. We think that there was about 80, when we last looked at this, we thought there was about 82 forfeitures a year actually granted, and about 150 which get into the court system. But as I say, forfeiture is routinely threatened. Now, the case that I was going to reference is a Chinese family who owned a flat a Chinese-Canadian family who had a flat in Camden, and the 24-year-old daughter who was occupying it went back to Canada but was disputing a sort of water leak, and her brother, a student, moved in younger than her, and didn't forward any of the correspondence, didn't engage with the landlord whatsoever, and there was a knock on the door, and the bailiff turned up to say, "You've got to get out. This flat has been forfeited." And now relief of forfeiture has been sought, but it's going to cost this family, I think the debt was something like £2,500, but it's going to cost the family about £30,000 to get relief of forfeiture. So it does happen, but a relief of forfeiture process does exist, but it comes at a very high price indeed.